Hi, my name's Mary Ann Filler. I've been a member of this church since 1989. Started at Grace Church over on Winchester. The 26th day of this month, I'll be 84 years old, and I have a story to tell. I hope that it reaches all of you, but it's for the teenager who's here because Mom and Dad made them come. It's for the dad who came only because he didn't want to listen to his wife nag him because he didn't come. And it's to the woman who comes only because it looks good. And I want to tell you that once upon a time, I was you. In 1977, we were living in Northwest Indiana. I had been in church all my life. And if you asked me, are you a Christian? My answer would have been, I'm trying hard to be. But for the previous year almost, I had been completely out of church. But I went to a high school football game on this October night in 1977 and ran into an old friend who was going to the Nazarene Church in Portage, and she invited me and my girls to come to church with her the following Sunday. I walked in the door and fell in love. 3 weeks later, Pastor Nathan Price preached on Matthew 11. Come unto me, all you who are weary and heavy laden, and I will give you rest, for my burden is light. And I will tell you that this single mother of 3 teenagers was as burdened as anyone you've ever known. And I went to the altar, and I met Jesus there. And do you know what? I never ever again had to tell anybody that I was trying hard to be a Christian. It wasn't up to me. It was up to him. And now I'm going to take you forward to 1987. I had lost my job. I was having to sleep on the couch in my mom and dad's living room because I couldn't afford to pay rent. I was looking for work, and I had found 2 jobs. One I really wanted, but they were very reluctant because of my previous work history. The other one I could have on a heartbeat because it was with the Department of Defense, and I was the widow of a veteran. And I could walk in the door and tell them I wanted a job and I would have it. But I didn't like Battle Creek, Michigan, and I didn't want to go there. So I was sitting on the couch in Mom and Dad's living room, and I was praying. And I told God he was going to have to open a door and close a door. That if I was going to get the job in Kalamazoo that I really wanted, he was going to have to open that door for me. But if he didn't, if he closed that door, I would go to Battle Creek, and I would learn to be happy there because I would know I was where he wanted me to be. But as I was praying that prayer, honestly, in the middle of that prayer, the phone rang. And I went to the phone and I answered it, and it was my son, who was a young widower with 2 small children living in Memphis, Tennessee. And he said, Mom, come to Memphis and help me with my children, or the Department of Social Services is going to take them away from me. And I said, I'll be there. And I hung up and I said, well, God, you knew about a door I didn't know anything about. And I could hear him chuckling. Just do what I want you to do. Best thing ever happened to me in this world was moving to Memphis, Tennessee. I found work that I loved, best job I ever had, and I found this church. They became my home, my family. It still is to this very day. This is my home. And now we're going to go forward again. We're going to go to 2006, and I'm going to tell you how I hear God when he speaks to me. We were at Target on a kind of chilly day in January, shopping for my granddaughter's birthday, my daughter and my granddaughter. And my cell phone rang, and I looked down and it said, Dr. Pilgrim. the gynecologist. I better answer this. I did. She said, Miss Filler, I hate to tell you this because I like to call my patients into my office and tell them, but I've already made an appointment for you with a cancer doctor. And she said, I'm afraid they'll call you and tell you have an appointment and you won't know what they're talking about. And she said the 3 ugliest words you will ever hear in your life. You have cancer. I wasn't really surprised. And I dealt with it pretty well. Put on a brave front, certainly. But in my private moments, as any normal human being would be, I got scared. And I would pray and I would ask God to take the fear away. And I could honestly tell you that I could hear him say to me, I have a plan. 2 or 3 times this happened till finally I thought, okay, what's your plan? And so I went to my Bible and I found my life verse, and it will be until the day they put me in the ground. Jeremiah 29:11 through 13. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. Then you will call on me, and I will listen to you. You will seek me and find me when you seek me with all your heart. I beg you, seek him with all your heart, and you will find him, and he will find you.